Gary, it's time that we stand
Let's go ahead and just
against the
relax.
evil in this. What?
Well, who's the evil?
The evil in this world. You know who the evil is.
You're gonna need to specify.
The liberals, the left.
Oh yeah, I agree with that, bro. This is actually really, really, really bad. No, this is wicked up. Like this
I'm
isn't
sick
even.
and
This is
tired of it,
bad.
Gary. And it's not even. It's not even that Charlie Kirk got. I was pissed off when the black guys that girl, and you go on, CNN and these news channels, and you got these people trying to like justify or explain why he's that girl. It's like there's not like, you know what I mean? And it's always the black guys who are trying to justify it.
Oh, I saw them saying like, yeah, I saw someone say hurt people, because he was hurt that he hurts other people. Yeah, that's bullshit.
But Gary, it's not just that guy.
What is this? Your racist arc?
Black people have gone too far.
It's just poor
Sick
people,
and tired
dude.
of it.
It's poor people.
No, it's black. It's black people and poor. It's poor black people.
It's just poor people, dude. It's a classism
No,
thing.
it's poor black people.
No, that's not true.
I mean, from what I see,
I think if we're gonna
on the news,
I think we can approach it like, in a more
you can't
logical
ignore
way.
it, Gary.
It's not ignoring it. It's poor people, man.
I have never seen a white poor person go around and hijack convenience stores and steal and fight people for no reason and people for no reason.
Of course we have, dude. White people are crazy too. It's a poor people. Now, you could say like statistically, yeah, black people cause more of the crime, but that is also then you have to look into further like why is that the case, and then you see if it's like a systematic thing or like why that came to be, But
no,
there's people
thing.
all around.
I'm tired of sugarcoating it. It's not a systematic thing. It's not anything. It's the way they were raised, Gary. It's their brain.
No, okay. Well, first of all, you just said two conflicting ideas, but you said the way they were raised and you said their brain, which are literally two opposite ends of the argument. So which do you think it is?
No, it's the same type of shit. It's the way they were raised, and their brain is maybe slightly underdeveloped.
No, their brains are the same. Everyone's brains are the same. We're the same species. It all comes down to the raising and the environment and the opportunities that are given. And, if you don't have a good upbringing and you don't have good role models and you don't have a father figure and you don't have things like that, then it's going to be difficult
to compete. Yeah, but why
is
that? Why don't they have a father figure?
I don't know. Some people don't have good father figures, and I think that, really plays into it. It has nothing to do with their race. It's not genetic or anything like that. It's circumstantial.
It is certainly genetic,
how much money do you have in the bank for you to be talking like this right now?
I'm just sick and tired of it, Gary. Talking like what? Being honest? Listen, I like black people, okay? Don't get that twisted. I love black people, but I only like black people who are civilized, and unfortunately, a lot of them aren't. Okay,
yeah, but you could say that about any race, realistically. And the problem where you get into it being weird is when you say it's genetics, which is not. Most of it is environmental. Sure, there's like a bell curve, and there's outlanders who are savants or like extremely stupid, and there's outliers when it comes to genetics. But a lot of things are circumstantial, and if you don't have a good upbringing, you don't have a good family values, then it's going to be extremely difficult for you to compete with someone that does. And that's just the reality of the situation.
That's bullshit, man. Nelson Mandela he grew up in a poor, segregation South Africa, and you know what? He managed to become their president.
Yeah, he's the bell curve outlier that I just said. He's one of the outliers.
I'm just saying, I have known plenty of black guys that have grown up in environments and weren't people, but unfortunately, a lot of them are. But I don't know. I've known a lot of white guys as well who grew up in environments, and I would say
think about how many white even like the streamers and the so-called leeches around you that are white and are all scumbags. It doesn't make a difference. It's all the same.
Okay. let's see. What? Okay. Chicken Andy is never going to go rob a convenience store and cause mayhem and havoc.
I mean, I don't want to Chicken Andy. It's all good, but he did spray me with for no reason. But that's besides the
Okay,
point.
and if Chicken Andy was black, he would have just.
No, dude. What do you mean? If he was black, he would have. I don't know. It would depend on his character. It would depend. You know what it would depend on? Where
He
he
would
grew
have.
up.
Okay,
It would depend
he
on where
would
he
have.
grew up.
He would have. No, he would have sprayed you. Then he would have said, "I didn't do nothing."
No, it would depend on where he grew up. It really just it's very environmental. Very environmental. It's extremely
Okay.
I don't even know if you fully I know you're baiting slightly for the chat, but
So
I
tell
know
me
there's some
why.
truth, but I think this is even a bit much for you.
I'm not exaggerating. Why? Why are places like Ohio not as crime ridden as Chicago?
Places like Ohio, not I mean,
You
probably
know,
many reasons. I don't know,
there's poor white
underpopulation,
people.
different people.
I'm just saying there's poor white people in Ohio. There's poor black people in Chicago. Why does Chicago become a war zone and Ohio is just boring?
I have no idea, but I don't but in my opinion, it doesn't come down to the genetic
Oh,
composition
you
of
don't
their
have any
brains.
idea. Let me give you another example.
It doesn't
What
come down
about
to the it doesn't come
Memphis?
down to their genetics though. That's not the reason though. No. Because we're all still
Why
humans.
is yeah? Well, hold on though. Does it? I mean, why is Memphis a crime-ridden hellhole, but Minnesota is just full of hillbillies?
There's probably plenty of crime in
It's
Memphis as well,
it's all
or wherever
nah,
the
bro.
other
It's
place
all
you said.
probability. There's always one
Okay,
thing in
so
common that these
let's just
places
get down
have.
to brass tacks. You think that if somebody is born of a different nationality, that different nationalities have different ranges of IQ that they're born to?
Yes, obviously. That's why Africans in Africa have like 70 IQ. It's been tested.
That is extraordinarily bordering on eugenics, which was a major component of. I'm
Are
not gonna
you
lie to you.
insane, Gary? It's okay. It's not racist to say that different races have different brain structures. It's okay to say that. It's
No,
not racist.
that's not. No, but I don't think they do though. Like I think we're just humans though.
No, they do. No, yeah, we're all human, but we
Yeah.
all act differently based on certain genetic outliers. Why is everything statistically going towards black people do crime?
I mean, we said because of environmental things and a lot of factors. A lot of factors.
Yeah, but there's more poor white people in the US than there are poor black people. You know that, right?
Probably not statistically. Probably like there's more overall,
No.
the greater
There
number.
there is more white people in the US than black people. So therefore there must be more poor white people than poor black
Obviously, there's
people.
more fucking one-legged white people as well. That doesn't matter.
All right. So why do 40% of the crime, from black people?
I mean, we just said it
If
could
there's
be
more.
it's environmental.
No, it's not environmental. I just said there's
It's the
there's
father. It's
definitely
the
more.
father
There's more
figure and
poor
the
white
fit.
people.
No, bro, it's the father figures and the family values are so huge. The family values are so huge in determining how somebody will turn out. It's
So
far more.
So why do they have different values? It's because they think differently.
No, it's because of the situation that they've come into. I don't know why.
What situation? You're excusing it, dude. It's
It's not.
excuses.
Yeah, but even if it's excuses, it's still their reason for why and how it happens. It's not because they're at it's
Listen,
not
this is
because
my
they're at
theory.
an IQ deficiency. That's not why. That doesn't make sense.
Well, this is, this is my theory. Obviously, slavery was a huge thing back in the day in America, right? And slave owners would, make slaves have with each other that would make a certain kind of like super slave baby. So they would breed people who are big and genetically muscular, but like lower IQ, so they can't talk back to the slave owner. So you are, generation after generation of that, you have low impulse dudes with with low IQ that will do physical labor, right? That is what you end up with.
No, I mean, you don't get evolutionary IQ changes in a couple generations. It would probably have to happen over thousands of years, no?
No, dude, what are you talking about? Literally 2 generations can change your entire family bloodline.
2 generations?
If my grandfather is retarded and then he has a baby and that's retarded and then that retard has another baby and it's me, that's going to make me retarded too.
No, it's not. You don't automatically have a retarded baby if you're retarded.
I mean, most likely.
I don't even know how the statistics work on that, not gonna lie. Even Charlie Kirk, our man of the hour, would say that it's the father figures that are the main component of people having a up upbringing and just their entire existence being at a disadvantage is from the father figures. And that's what he would say. And I agree with that. It's
I
the
mean,
father
okay,
figures,
so
and
you're saying
it's the
that
environment.
poor white people, their fathers stay, poor black people, their fathers leave.
I think statistically, potentially more black fathers leave, which is what
And why is that?
I don't know why.
You don't know why? Well, if you don't know the answer to something, you have to choose the most obvious thing, right? And the most obvious thing is the way they think.
And leaving your child doesn't necessarily equate to low IQ.
Yeah, but well, it equates to impulsiveness.
Mm, I think it equates to
I'm just tired of the excuses. It's like, oh, this person was raised poorly, and he didn't have a chance, and blah blah blah. That's bull. There's plenty of poor black people that go off to live successful lives
no, there
and don't
is.
commit crimes.
No, yeah, of course
So I
there
mean,
is.
it's just I'm just saying that I just think it's dangerous when the media tries to portray white people as being the problem, and they try to uh, like say, well, if you're a white person and you know s- if you stereotype, that makes you a racist person. No, that makes you a smart person.
Okay, so specifically, the problem that I think with your
I
argument. No, hold
stereotype.
on, hold
If
on.
I go on a bus, I'm not sitting in front of guys that look like they're gonna me.
The problem with your argument is that it's not. It's the genetic component versus the upbringing, and the fact that if it's if people's fathers aren't around and then they're not raised for a certain way, it's still an excuse. So why can't that just be the excuse? Why does the excuse have to be like a genetic component? It could still just be you could say like, oh yeah, their father's not around and they shouldn't use that as an excuse. They should, they should just get over that and they should still become successful or whatever they need to do. Why does it have to come down to genetics of it? Can't it just be the upbringing?
Because if a certain group of people always act a certain way, there has to be a deeper meaning to it, and it has to be a similarity they have in their brain.
Yeah, but they have a similar upbringing. So can't that be the similarity? Why does it have to be a genetic thing? Because a genetic thing, it doesn't seem right. I don't know. It seems like it's more of a cultural thing. And again, you could just say, oh, you could use your same argument. Oh, they're using that as an excuse. They should just get over the cultural shit and make themselves successful. You could use that as your same argument. So, and I feel
So
like
yours,
that's a more fair argument than blaming it on genetics. And I feel like it's more.
uh,
It just makes
oh,
more sense.
all right. So if you put a black guy who grew up like poor without a father, if you gave him a bunch of money, do you think that will change his behavior?
If you take a black person that's born and they're born and the father's present in their life and has a good job and has the wife and they're together and they have a good upbringing, then they're going to grow up with the same mental capability of you or I for being a white person. 100%.
Yes, you're right. You're right about that. But why doesn't that happen?
Why doesn't it happen? Because of the external circumstances. Is like the parents are doing it to them. Why don't the parents do it? You're saying? Why don't the parents give them that life?
Yeah,
Because it's generational.
why is there a pattern that only black fathers always leave? Why is that a thing?
Because it's not only black fathers, but it's generational. So they have a bad time with their dad, and it comes down to the next generation, and it's difficult to get over that generational hump to where you make the distinction between being a good father or an absent father. And if you had an absent father, then you are more likely to do it to your children probably, and it becomes like a generational cycle. And
No,
you have
no,
to
no,
break
no,
the
no.
cycle.
I I don't think so. If I grew up without a father, I would have when I have my kids, I would make sure that I'm present in their life because I wouldn't want them to go through what I went through.
No, but you're using that based on your experience as a child, and you're not using that based on the experience of growing up as somebody who didn't have a parents present. And even though you
It
said
just doesn't it doesn't make
you know
sense
your parent, you
logically.
know your parents were still there, even though you say, oh, you're not that close, or
I
whatever, they were
know,
still there.
but logically it doesn't make sense. Why would you want to give your child um the shitty life that you had? The only answer to that is that they had kids accidentally and they don't want the kids, so they just leave, just like their father did, because they're impulsive and they don't use their brain.
Nah, I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's just a cycle of bad decisions, and then it carries down, and the
Okay,
next
so
person still
not
makes bad
not
decisions.
not having a father forces them to have babies on accident.
Yeah, they don't make good decisions. They are, yeah, they make poor decisions, 100%. They're careless in their life. They're more careless because they don't have a father, so they don't have like somebody like, okay, like if I can do something bad, I'm thinking when I'm a kid, I'm thinking, oh, my dad's gonna me if I do this. Let me not do this. But if they don't have a dad that's gonna quote unquote them if they do something wrong, then they're just gonna do the wrong thing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna raise my children to be stereotypical for sure.
You know it doesn't. You know it's a lot of environmental situations because people
Yeah, yeah,
obviously are a
that's
product of their
fine.
environment.
I'm gonna tell my kids when they grow up, as they're growing up, I'm gonna say, if somebody looks like they're going to kill you, you should not go near them, no matter what. Even if
Yeah,
it makes you look bad, if it makes you seem racist, who cares? Don't go near them.
yeah, but that's yeah, no, 100%. But you can, I mean, obviously you can apply that to other races besides black
I mean,
people.
dude, I remember I was in Kansas City, downtown Kansas City, with Moises in the passenger seat of the car. And there was a group of six very ghetto-looking black
I know.
guys
I even
walking.
were you in your Tesla trying to charge it? That story.
No, no, I was just parked, and then these six, or something, like a group of ghetto-looking black guys are walking by, and I locked the door, and Moises is like, "Oh my god, dude, did you really do that?" I'm like, "Yeah." I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what
No.
they're thinking.
Yeah, but you could have true or false. You could have been given that same vibe from a group of five white guys, depending on their demeanor.
No,
Yes, you could have.
no,
Yes, you
no
could. Depending
way.
on their demeanor and how they're dressed, there's no white guys out there that could have made you nervous.
Uh, no, poor white people usually are like and like whatever and like beg for money. Whereas the poor black guys will just like I don't know.
I don't buy that. Nah,
I mean, if it
there could
was
be
like if it
dudes.
was like if it was like six tattooed like biker dudes or like something like maybe like but they don't have the pattern of just robbing you and for no reason, so probably still wouldn't.
I
It's
don't
just
know.
statistics. Statistically, if I don't lock my door to these six ghetto black guys in Kansas City, statistically they're gonna rob me.
Yeah, but I mean, it's all the environment. You're in Kansas City. You're naming environmental reasons to why they're stressing you out, what they're wearing,
I,
how
I
they're
mean, Kansas
acting, their
City ain't
demeanor,
really
where
that
they
bad.
are.
It ain't
It's
that
not the
bad.
fact that they're black. It's other external reasons that are stressing you out.
No, because if it was a white guy in Kansas City, I wouldn't lock the
Well,
door.
then you might be. I don't want to say it, but you might be.
I'm not racist. I'm just smart, Gary. It's just being street smart.
Mm,
I'm not gonna let the media and society gaslight me into keeping myself safe.
I think what it comes down to is the reason. I think maybe I don't know. I think the part of your logic is thinking that it comes from some sort of genetic composition as opposed to it coming from environmental. Because if it comes from environmental and then you see people that look a certain way and then you're like, okay, the environment, it's that's how they grew up, that's how, so you want to be safe from them. That's kind of less race. It's kind of less up. But if you think it comes from their genetic composition, then there's no winning because then by default you think that you're genetically superior, and then like how could you even conversate with somebody like that? Because how can you conversate with the black person and be cool with them thinking that you're genetically superior and crazy? Like it just puts you at like a weird relationship with black people.
Gary, you're 6'4". Do you think you're genetically superior to most people?
In height, yes, but I think it's based on.
Okay.
Oh no, but hold
But
on.
no,
But
no,
it's
no.
based on.
No,
It's not based on my
you think
race,
you're
though.
genetically superior. There you go. Like, it doesn't matter
Not,
in what
but not based.
aspect.
Yeah, but you're not based on my race. Based on my specific set of chromosomes and my specific that got together with that egg and created me, Gary. Because if I have like a sibling or something, they might not have the exact same height as me or something. So it's not based on my height. It's based on the exact way my that I won the race came together and I was created as a human. And now I'm genetically superior when it comes to height, but it's not based on any sort of race. It's just based on the way I was created. So it's not based on a
Um,
race. And I
I
think
don't,
that's the
I don't,
difference. I think genetically we're all different, and some people are born smarter than others, but it's just when we're born, how we come together. Some people, I don't know why. I don't know why, but some people just have the capacity to be better at certain things.
I don't think that black people are genetically violent. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying, I'm saying, why is it that poor black people always end up violent, whereas poor white people, most of them don't end up violent? It's not
Um,
necessarily genetics. It's just the way they
I
think,
don't even
right?
know if that's
Different,
true, though. I don't even know if that's
di-
true.
like, okay, if you're in a good environment and you're Asian, you're probably going to be smart. But if you're in a shitty environment and you're Asian, you're not going to be smart, right? And if you're in a good environment and you're black, you're going to be a normal person. But if you're in a bad environment and you're black, you're going to be a violent person.
Think
If
about the
you know, if
environmental difference, though, between Asian culture and like American culture. And by the way, you're taking all black people, quote unquote, based on American black people, and you're not taking into account probably black people from around the world and how they
Oh
act.
yeah, let me take black people into account around the world. Yeah, black people outside of America are way worse.
Oh,
Are you joking? Have you? Oh yeah, you don't travel the world like I do, Gary. You don't
oh,
have any
I've been to
experience.
many countries, more than the average.
Okay, well the black guys in Japan are all scumbags. Every single one
I
of them that
literally
I've met.
went to Japan with you, so obviously I've
Yeah,
been to Japan.
yeah, and those black guys in Shinjuku, how are they?
They're selling.
Yeah, and then they press you for no reason.
All right, so but that doesn't. That's not any indication of their genetic composition.
What about in London? Who's doing this in London?
I would never go to London.
Well, I'm just saying who's doing this there. It's the unfortunately it's the immigrants from Africa and the Middle East.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't think there's a way to prove whether it's genetic or whether it's environmental. I can't see how we can
Dude,
prove it.
it's a pattern worldwide. It can only be one thing.
I don't buy it.
Why? I mean, well then you're just naive. You've been gaslit by society to have a certain opinion.
No, I think we're just genetic. I think we're all scientifically humans, and humans all are born with the same capacity to have similar IQs. And I don't think one race is born with a different capacity for a different IQ. I don't think so.
Look up the average IQ in Africa and then look up the average IQ in anywhere else in the world.
I know, but that's in your. I mean, that you don't know if that's made from birth or if that's environmental.
Okay, look up the IQ in Nigeria, where a lot of people in Nigeria have money and they're middle class. Like they're not all like Nigeria is pretty nice.
See, showing different figures, research. Summary suggests average 60s to 70s, while they're mid 90s. Mid 90s, 67, bro. What kind of tests are they giving them?
They're probably giving them the same test that we take.
Yeah, but we're not. We don't like. Nah, I don't buy it. I don't buy it yet. I don't buy it. It sounds crazy. It feel
Well, I
it
buy it. Think of EBZ. Remember how close-minded EBZ was?
It's
That comes from a
environmental
low
though.
IQ.
No, because Cameroon has an entirely different set of
No,
laws. They have
here's
set
the
up
thing.
different customs. It's all environmental.
Gary, EBZ grew up with a wealthy family, okay? His parents were wealthy. That's why he was in America being a rapper at 40 because he grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth, yet he still had a low IQ and was impulsive and violent.
So EBZ, if that's true, then EBZ, no offense to him, could just be stupid, and it doesn't have to do with his race. He could just be an example of a stupid person, if he's saying stupid things. You know, why does
Just
that?
saying.
It doesn't mean that it's anything to do with his race.
I'm just saying, bro. It's just weird. It's just a lot of patterns here.
We could find plenty of stupid white people. Let's be real.
Yeah, but they're not violent.
So are they violent? Are they low IQ or they're violent? You're saying the low IQ equates to violence.
Low IQ equates to violence. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't buy it. Nah, it
I mean,
doesn't
hey,
seem right.
I mean, hey, you know what? My neighbor's black, and they're normal people. They're not violent people. When I was growing up, my neighbor was also black next to my parents' house. They were nice people. So, it is how you grow up, but you have to grow up with
The
a certain
problem,
level of intelligence.
the problem with what you're saying is you're putting them in a position where they have no hope and they shouldn't even bother trying, and they are like, you're putting them in a position where it's like, what's even the point of them trying or existing? You're putting them in a position of less than human. So like, if they are born, if people are born just by default not as high IQ, then what's the point of them even trying? They might as well just be violent then, if what you're saying is correct.
If you're born with low IQ, it's up to you to try to, study and up your IQ level, or at the very least, be a human with empathy and not be violent.
No, because they're a low IQ, right? So they don't have a high enough IQ to have this empathy. So in fact, how can you even if they're born with low IQ? How can you even blame them? It's not even their fault then.
So
it's not even their
so
fault. You should help them then
all
if,
right,
if
so
they have
just
low
so
IQ.
what? So just let them people. Like, what are you trying to say?
I don't know. You have the higher IQ, so you should be able to fix the problem. No.
Oh, there is a fix to the problem, of course.
So you just fixed the problem, and I'm sure since your IQ is so high that you figured out how to do it humanely as well.
Well, if people are inhumane, you can't really treat them humanely, now can you?
I know, but they're inhumane allegedly because they have a lower IQ. So can we really blame them? Because it's not really their fault. They were just born that way.
Oh, okay. If we can't blame them, then it's not their fault. They shouldn't exist in our society.
Oh, well then you're.
Well, no, not. That's crazy because it's not a. Well, I mean, look at Europe. Look at Europe nowadays.
It's overrun by immigrants and probably very unsafe.
So, I mean, there is the liberalism in Europe has gone too far.
I know. It's just a point of. It's just like if you come to the conclusion that it's genetics and that they're just born with a lower IQ, then it's just like you are, I think, agreeing to a society that will always be in turmoil and always be violent and always, because you're trying to say that one race is superior to the other, but then you want harmony amongst that race. So it's not like a fair ask, because like, why would they ever be in harmony with you if they think that you think they're lesser? And then how could you even blame them for anything they do if they're lower IQ? You should be, you're the smarter IQ, you're the higher IQ, so you should be the one in control. So really, everything that happens in society is really the fault of the higher IQ people. Really.
No, the only reason that these things happen is because we try to have morals and we try to treat everybody equally. That's the problem. You can't treat everybody equally when some people are born inhumane.
I think you're supposed to treat them equally, though. Isn't that what Jesus said?
Okay, and that's what the judge did when he saw the girl on the bus or the train or whatever. The judge let that guy. The judge treated him equally. He got released after 14, you know, 14 crimes that he committed. And what happened? He killed somebody.
I mean, yeah, because he was a piece.
So don't treat them equally, is what I'm saying. If somebody proves that they're a piece of they're violent, then you should definitely just, send them off.
Yeah, individually, but you can't do it based on the entirety of who they are.
Yeah, I'm not saying do it on the entirety of the race, but I'm just saying there are a lot of statistics that just point to a certain thing. I think nowadays, if you're a liberal, if you're a liberal, if you're on the left anywhere in the world, you're probably a terrorist.
Let me think. Yeah, being on the left is kind of weird right about now.
Not even a terrorist where you're like gonna go blow something up somebody, but you're it is your goal in life and your mission as a liberal to destroy culture. And this is what this is what's going to happen if the world continues to be so liberal is in 50 years, 100 years, the whole world is going to be outrun by third world country individuals, and then the world's going to go into chaos because people who are smart have one or two kids because that is the smart thing to do, right? Financially. But people who are stupid and from third world countries have 10 kids. So, and then treat them and they teach them no values, right? Because they're from a third world country with no values. So the world's going to end up getting overrun by these third world people and with no values, and the world will go.
Yeah, no, I can believe that, but I don't think it's based on the fact that they're born in a certain sort of genetic disadvantage. I think they just, culturally and environmentally have just become a certain type of people. That's all. They could just change and they could become exactly the opposite.
All right, that's fine. I think we should keep them out.
Yeah, no, I agree. We should definitely keep them out, dude. I'm down to militarize the fucking cities right now.
Keep them out, militarize the cities, and if you are born in Memphis or Chicago, you are not allowed to leave until you pass some sort of Mensa test showing that you are, at least 120 IQ.
This program was made possible by contributions from viewers like you. Thank you.